What's going on, people? My name is Antoine, this is ATM Tech, and welcome to the channel. So after weeks and months of speculation and leaks, the Z Flip 3 is finally here. Now, I've been fortunate enough to get my hands on one early, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing my first impressions with you. Let's go. So the original Z Flip was one of my favourite devices over the last couple of years, so I was quite excited to see they were finally coming out with a redesign with the Z Flip 3. So I've only spent a short amount of time on this new phone, so it will literally be a first impressions. But I am working on a full review, so if that's something you would like to see, make sure you stick around and hit that subscribe button. But going back to the phone itself, the first major improvement and the first thing that stands out to anyone is the redesign and, more importantly, that large outer display. Now, the original Z Flip had a pathetic 0.9-inch outer display, which was really only good enough for seeing basic notifications. It did have the functionality of being a selfie viewfinder, but it was so small it just wasn't really worth using. I'm pleased to say they've added a much larger outer display that allows you to actually see and read some of your notifications as well. Now, this is a game changer for the Z Flip. As I said with the original one, the display was so small you could only see the notification icon, so you had to open up the phone anyway. With this new display, it's much larger, so you see more information on your notifications, so you can actually decide whether it's worth opening up the phone or not. Now, this will definitely save you a few seconds, which won't sound like a lot, but when you actually count up the amount of times we check our phones on a daily basis, those seconds definitely really start to add up. So this is definitely a welcome addition to the Z Flip lineup. As well as the outer display, the whole phone has had a redesign and a facelift, giving it a bit more personality with the two-tone glass design. Also, having the camera module sit vertically rather than horizontally is a nice touch as well. But overall, the phone has a bit of a flatter feel and design, and it just sits in the hand a little bit better compared to the original Flip. I'm definitely a big fan of this redesign. Now, one of the first things I noticed when I opened up this phone is that feeling in the hinge. So with the original Flip, the hinge was designed in such a way that it had enough friction to be held open at any angle. The problem with that is there were a lot of complaints that the hinge was a little bit too stiff, and then anyone who wanted to do the cool guy one-handed flip open either couldn't do it, or they did it so hard they ended up cracking the display. Now, with the Z Fold 3, you can still open it to any angle, but I've noticed as it gets more and more open, the hinge loosens up a little bit. So that should make it just that little bit easier to open one-handed and hopefully prevent any cracked screens going forward. Now, in terms of internal spec, the Z Flip 3 runs the Snapdragon 888 processor, and the model I have has 128GB of storage with 8GB of RAM. Just like the Z Fold 3, I'm sure there's going to be different variants around the world, but this is the one that I have. Now, those specifications aren't world beating, but they're going to give you pretty solid performance. And to be honest, the Z Flip 3 is less about specification and more about how the phone makes you feel when you're using it. And then somehow Samsung have managed to make this phone water resistant. Now, for most phones that isn't a big deal, we've had that around for a while, but the fact that this is a folding phone with moving parts does make that quite impressive. It's important to note that it's IPX8 water resistant, which means it can go underwater up to a meter for up to 30 minutes, but it's not rated against any dust. So okay near fresh water, but keep it away from the beach. I said in my video about the Z Fold 3 that I was really hoping for some water resistance, so I'm glad Samsung have somehow managed to do that. It really makes a difference with how you use your phone. So I said this earlier, but I just want to stress again, this is just my first impressions and I am working on a full review. So again, make sure you stick around if you guys want to see that. But for the time being, if you just want to hit the like button down below, that helps me out massively. But with that being said, my name is Antoine, this is ATM Tech, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.